Castor, Troy. Baby, I'm a bad boy. On the pillow, you're the purgatory.
Hey, this is Box Office Baddies coming to you from a balcony in beautiful Koreatown, Los Angeles. My name is Sean, and this is the biblical play that LA deserves.
What's up, everybody? This is Nick. We are here, as usual, me and Sean, but we are joined with a special guest today, Mr. Hound, a.k.a. Trevor, a.k.a.
Castor Troy.
Mr. Castor Troy.
I'm
What's up,
Castor
man?
Troy, yeah.
Hell yeah.
What's
That's
going on,
me.
man?
Shit, man, not much. I just got to LA.
Congratulations. He's
Yeah.
one of LA's newest residents.
I
Hell
just moved here today.
Yeah, he just moved to LA. I tried to guess what part of LA he moved to. I thought Echo Park. I nailed it right on the head. We got a cute little hit boy right over here. You know what I mean?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, we've known Trevor for quite a while at this point. We went to college together, the three of us, up at Chico State. Shout out.
That's
to
right, baby.
another
Shout out.
530 Wildcats, you know, all the great.
Go Cats.
The Harvard of the West. You know what I
Harvard
mean?
of the West. Yes, Chico. It's, if you remember it, you weren't there. You know?
Hey, go Cats, baby.
But yeah, like, do you want to tell us a little bit about the movie we were doing this week?
Yeah,
Trevor?
so the movie that we just watched, we had the pleasure of experiencing, was Face Off, which is a 1997, I believe, action film by John Woo. And it's incredible. It stars Nick Cage and John Travolta. And
Incredible.
there's just so much I could say about this film. I mean, I could go on for days about it. It's
Yeah,
so
we
good.
just watched it right before this taping, and I feel like my head's spinning. You know, so many fucking crazy moments.
I'm in
I
a
don't e-
daze.
Yeah,
I
you're
feel
in a
like
daze.
that too.
It's crazy, man. Yeah. So it's like, Hound, like, what is some of the things about this movie before we really tap into it that really intrigued you as a person? Like, has it influenced you? How so? And why are you here?
How's it influenced me? I don't know. I remember I've seen it like a lot of times when I was younger. I don't even necessarily remember where. I guess just on like TV. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of the imagery from this movie in particular, like, kind of stuck with me. Like, I thought a lot of the stuff in it was really cool and really like representative of like some early like Y2K kind of style.
Yeah, it's kind of like, to touch on that, kind of that sort of like early sort of like spy graphics that they had, you know, like just like that,
Exactly.
like exoskeleton with like a sort of
Yeah.
like green, like neon green, early 2000s
Very
kind of thing
sleek,
going on.
like very kind of like futuristic.
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
Yeah, there's like a lot of those vibes going on in Face Off. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the opening scene.
The opening scene.
It was
Okay.
absolute madness from the get-go.
Yeah. So yeah, we start off. Are we? It's spoilers allowed, right? We
Of
can-
course. Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
We're just chatting.
Yeah. So starting off, we see that John Travolta and his beautiful son. They're like, it opens and it's like so emotional. The camera is like so warm and soft. It's so
It's on a
touching.
it's on a Ferris wheel.
Yeah, it's a fairy tale moment.
Oh
Like,
yeah, it's so cute.
They love each other. They're family.
He reaches up to his son and he touches his bangs, not even just on the hair, but he slides his hands all the way down his face, like, and it's a little weird, but it was cute.
It's like a key sentimental, like, that's like a key moment that they're gonna bring up lots of different times in the movie. To sort
Totally.
of, like, set things back to normal.
And what exactly does that cut to right after that beautiful moment?
All right. Well, after that, we get a Nick Cage looking absolutely crazy with a beautiful mustache. He's got a fucking massive sniper.
He's got
rifle.
like a Boston FD sort of stash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that thing is looking thick. He's looking like a little
Oh yeah,
caterpillar.
absolutely.
But basically, yeah, Nick Cage, in an attempt to kill John Travolta's character, who is like a high-ranking FBI agent, Nick Cage shoots at him in an assassination attempt, but accidentally kills his son instead. The bullet actually goes through Travolta and nails his boy.
No, not his boy.
It's very sad.
Yeah, and then after that scene, it cuts to a little bit of backstory about the characters, and there's a scene where somehow Nick Cage, as a priest, approaches a choir doing a performance and proceeds to corner, like, the choir person that was in the corner of the ensemble
Yeah.
and grabs her ass in the most, like, non-2020 Like,
Oh God.
you like,
It's a real freak moment.
If we're talking about canceling, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, there's
my
some
God.
great freak moments from Nick Cage in this movie where he's just like, on sicko mode for sure. You know, he's grabbing asses. He's doing like lots of very inappropriate maneuvers.
And I feel like the thing you have to really consider about Nick Cage is like he really commits to everything he does, no matter what the role. And I think it's very funny because in a way he's almost the same in every role, but also drastically different. You know what I'm saying? But he's the same in the sense that he just fucking goes for it. His eyes are maniacal. He looks insane, and it's the same sort of thing that we come to know and love about him, which is going full Cage or nouveau shamanics, which I told you about.
He really can. He knows how to push the envelope. Yeah, I love Nick Cage. I think a lot of people think that he's a bad actor, but I think that
I don't think so.
I think he's a character within himself, and he's just so fun to watch.
yeah, he's not a bad actor. He's just a Nick Cage actor, if that makes sense.
He's the one and only. He can't. There's no one can do what he does. No one can touch him.
Trevor, do you remember the whole nouveau shamanics thing that I showed you a while back about Nick Cage?
Yeah, that's great content.
Yeah.
This was easily
That's a
top
great
5
video.
Cage, I feel like. This movie, I was saying that during the movie, like, I've seen a decent amount of Nick Cage movies, but I've seen more of the meme movies from our generation, like National Treasure, Bad Lieutenant,
Lieutenant, yeah. I mean, those
the
two are
more
great.
kind of like cringe movies, but the 90s Cage, I haven't dove that much into it, and I think that for me, like, this is one of the better Cage performances I've seen, not in terms of him being necessarily a great actor, but just him being himself, him being Cage, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and like this sort of nouveau shamanic sort of style that he brings to his films are very about augmenting.
Such a woke term.
What can you tell us about the nouveau shamanic?
It's a self-made
God.
term by Cage, which he talks about if you search it in the search bar on YouTube, and he basically talks about how he augments his imagination to the character without faking it, which is hilarious because isn't that exactly what acting is, really?
He becomes them. He becomes them.
But he becomes them in a way where it's like his own imagination.
He uses black magic to become them.
Yeah, again, and like Nick says, it's just like or you might have said it too, but it's like him becoming himself in the role of the character. It's very odd. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, another thing I really liked about the movie that I was talking with Trevor about was like the 90s kind of technology all throughout the film.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like all the computer screens they cut to, like it reminded me of in like CSI and all those kind of like
so much great like enhance.
Yeah, it'll cut to the computer guy like I'm on it. You know what I mean?
Fingers like scattering across
like
the keyboard. Like,
search the database. He's like I'm on, and it's all the like all the technology.
A lot of like wireframe T-pose guys. Like a lot of I love one of my favorite graphics in it is when they're arming the bomb and there's like a keypad combination on the bomb and it's like you touch the buttons and it's like a little flame around where you touch it, and then when they arm the bomb it's like a digital like hot girl and she's like like I'm ready to bust or whatever. Like,
such a butt rock graphic.
It's so good though. Like,
And when they're hacking the mainframe too, it's like every person
Hacking the mainframe. That's the craziest sentence.
Whenever they're
My
hacking
God.
the mainframe from the early 2000s too, there's always like them like typing on the computer and it's like literally like 1,000 words per minute. They're just going absolutely nuts on it, you know.
It sounds like a post rock band, like hacking the mainframe.
Yeah. Post rock, fucking American
Explosions
football
in
type
the sky,
beat.
hacking. Okay.
No, he definitely.
I'm done. All right.
Little carried away.
He definitely hacks the mainframe, like specifically in the prison sequence, is really great. It's like, he's on the computer for like maybe like 20 seconds, and he's like just hitting hella keys, and I think they're like, I guess it's 1997, so people don't really know computers like that well still. Like they're, they could be like, oh, like, yeah, you could type a bunch of keys like really fast, and then it would make like the TVs explode, like all the TVs in the room.
Yeah. Totally. And I think it's funny because you look at the way that like Nick Cage acts in this film, and you sort of want someone in this role which face off like someone to equally oppose Nick Cage's energy. And John Travolta comes in, and as much as I don't think, as well as Nick, think that he's a great actor in any terms, I think that he did definitely bring a certain level of emotion to the movie, which is absolutely hilarious. Would you guys agree?
I think so. I mean, I think he did a good job. I feel like something that really stands out in this movie for me is that like there's this whole crazy dynamic of you've got like two characters and they're played by two actors, but they're both of the actors are like playing the other actor.
Because of the face off.
Yeah, right. So it's like a whole, you know, you have to draw
So
charts
on
and
the
stuff to
nose.
really understand it, but like
Literally.
they like they're basically acting as each other, but like still I think Nick Cage comes through the strongest out of both of them the whole time.
Yeah, he's definitely the better actor, I think.
And I think even Travolta, when Travolta's, whose character is Nick Cage, like the Nick Cage character of Castor Troy, but Travolta, he's now in his body, right? They've swapped faces. I think it's basically getting two Nick Cages, right? Because you've got Travolta as
Dude.
Nick Cage, and then Nick Cage, who, you know, maybe he's Travolta technically, but he's still Nick Cage.
That's exactly what I wrote down, because like when you see Travolta in the first character, we kept saying the whole time like, God damn it, dude, like it's just like so cheesy. Like I wouldn't say he's blown it, like the plot's moving along, but I'm kind of like, damn. And then once he turns into Cage, there's that level of like, I have to move into that role. And
Yeah.
the most hilarious part is like when Travolta turns into Cage, he becomes a better actor than he was of
Dude,
the original character.
totally,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
It's
Like
because
I loved him once he turned into that. I was like, all right,
That's
Travolta, baby.
That's the presence of Castor Troy. And it's so powerful of a character.
That's what you get.
That it just overwhelms the actor, and there's just two Castor Troys is what you're watching.
That's what you get.
That's unreal. One thing I thought throughout the movie is just like the writers and the producers that were putting this movie together, like when they were getting in the room with, you know, the money people, like for whoever, like Paramount, or, you know, I think it was the Paramount movie, like saying like, okay, here's the plot. You know, it's Travolta and Cage. They switch their faces and they're trying to kill each other the whole time. Like it's
Yeah.
completely ridiculous, but
It's a face-off.
it's easily like
It's
a
all
$100
there.
million movie that is placed on the back of two kind of washed out stars. I guess not at the time.
No,
Not at the
this
time
is,
at all.
This is '97, bro. This
This
is
is-
peak time, dude.
This is peak for both of them,
This
babe.
is an A+
Okay,
film.
and,
You know,
this is my retrospective opinion. Then it's two washed out actors just doing a complete murderous action binge, like for 2.5 hours.
It's definitely a binge for sure. It's a one thing about this movie is that it's just constantly at like a peak. It's like in the red the whole entire time. It's just fucking 120 miles
just
per
peaking.
hour. It never stops. It's just always like there's so many action sequences.
I think
It's
the moments
insane.
that it does slow down is when we see once Cage's character and Travolta's character switch, and
yeah.
once Travolta's playing Cage, he comes in as like the family man, you know, and like he's in the
Yeah.
house, and you get the introduction of the goth daughter, basically.
Oh, the goth daughter. of
Yeah, and
course.
how do you feel about the goth daughter as a fellow goth, Trevor?
Oh man, the goth daughter. I think the goth daughter says so much about everything to do with this movie. The times that it was taking place
Yeah.
in, you know,
Late
where like
90s.
they're trying to show you that like that John Travolta's character Sean Archer, he's like this like overworked like FBI guy, and he's grinding. His son died. And he's like pissed. His life is fucked up because
Yeah.
he's working so hard to catch this terrorist.
Yeah.
And the way they show you that his family life is just in shambles is that his daughter has like a nose ring and like
Yeah.
dark lipstick, and he's like, who are you even trying to be, Jamie?
That post grunge scene, you know.
It's almost like the writing wasn't strong enough, so they're like, all right, let's go ahead and make the daughter like goth, so we can sort of
We
like
have
get
to
along with
see-
the plot.
we have to
you know
see
what I'm
that
saying?
she's fucked
like,
up.
she's fucked up. We can't make it like more emotionally like involved in like the scripts. Like she's goth. That's what we're doing. Let's put a nose ring on her.
The best
what I'm
part is that in the very end of the movie, like when they kill Castor Troy and like Archer, like Travolta's character, is getting back with his family, and he's like, like I love my family, like we made it, you know. It's like the daughter is not goth anymore. And that's how they show you that everything.
She is
bad.
resolved of the goth.
They fixed her.
As if it's that
her nose
simple,
ring
you
is
know?
gone, and she's not wearing lipstick now, and her hair is normal.
All of her friends are goth, and like she comes to school like the next day after the movie, and like, what, you fucking nerd? What are you doing? And she's just like, I'm resolved. My dad's fine now. You know?
I love that aspect of it. It's so good.
Hell yeah.
And she has a Bjork poster too in her room, which is fun.
Yeah,
Really?
that was pretty hip.
Yeah, there's a Smashing Pumpkins poster in there too. It's pretty cool.
You know, you had someone from like wardrobe or like somewhere on set that was like hip, like be like, "Hey, throw this in. It's gonna make it more
The
realistic."
Bjork one is
Art
rare. That was
director's
like,
like-
yeah. There you go, art director.
That was a cool guy on set. It was like, I got something to throw up there.
Also, the fact that the name of the prison that Nick Cage was thrown into was called Erewhon was kind of jokes. Like, Erewhon is this market. It's very regional reference, but it's this kind of vegan vegetarian market. There's a few of them throughout the more affluent neighborhoods.
Yeah, it's
in
like
Los Angeles.
It's like if Kim K came to shop for fucking high grade tomatoes. You know what I'm saying?
How do you
Yeah.
say it? What, Erewhon?
Erewhon.
Yeah.
It's like,
Like-
Erewhon. Erewhon.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's
That sounds
very
nice.
hip spelling.
It's like if you ever watched that movie or that show You on Netflix, there's that grocery store called Anavrin, which is Nirvana backwards. It's basically supposed to be mirroring the sort of Erewhon perspective of grocery stores.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some beautiful vegetables.
Yeah, very beautiful.
It's perfect.
Just $10 for a fucking beet.
It's the
you
most
know what I'm saying?
beautiful eggplant you've ever seen.
Yeah, I think one thing that was just standing out for me the entire time was that Cage's wife, well, not Cage's wife, so it would be Face Off is confusing me because the characters are
It's a
reversed.
lot. It's a lot. I know you guys are first-time viewers.
Travolta's wife would have she recognized Cage once he kind of presented information that only Travolta would know.
Right, she confirmed the blood type.
Right. So it was just a very kind of long path to figure out who they were, and to me, there would have been a very simple way to tell
How-
who is who.
Oh, what was
Pull
the
down
way?
the pantalones, my friend.
Hey, let's see that dick.
He's talking
But
about
I
the
mean,
dicks,
it's
folks.
like a penis is a very unique organ that I feel like it would have been an easy identifier.
They're not talking about penises in movies, right?
They're playing around with words and jargon. All they had to do was do the zippy, and they would have known what was going on. That's all I'm saying. It was like, obviously you can poke holes in movies. It's a movie. They're trying to build
just
attention as much as they can, but I'm poking a hole in the panties of the film.
Well,
Nick's poked the penis-sized hole in the film.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say I have.
You know what I mean? Like it's like Travolta might have like a big old chode and Cage might have a big old long boy. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know.
He's
Let's
got
pull
a
it down
hog
and let's
on
see.
it. I know
think
he's
for
got a
sure-
hog on him,
I think
dude.
for sure that's the case.
I think that might be.
Who's
what
got the hog also of the two of them? Like who
I think
who's
I
the
just. I
winner-
think I just
Who's
said
the
it.
winner at the deli? You know what I'm saying?
What Sean
At the
said
deli
was
counter,
correct.
who's got like the
Well,
weight?
I think it depends on the woman or the man who's with the person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like does the sort of
I mean-
does the 1 second does the girth of Travolta versus the sort of longness and stallion-like cock of Nick Cage.
Oh my God.
Does that like what
Jeez.
matters? Like is it? It's up to the woman or the man.
Whenever
I'm
you
just-
put stallion should be off the table as a word because once you use that word, it just becomes undeniable.
Yeah, no,
that
it's-
that
it's-
person
yeah.
is the winner.
No, there's not
Maybe
even-
that was like
That's
some
too much of a buzzword. You
Maybe
can't
it's
say
something
that.
you needed to think about, but for me, it was never a question.
Yeah.
Nick Cage has the superior penis.
That's true.
It's-
I feel like me commenting on like the
Alright.
the sort of stallionness
It's
of
useless
it.
to even try to wonder about.
Yeah.
There's not even a question.
We're getting Freudian with these penis terms here, so let's move on. Yeah, I think like in terms of like this big budget film, I think that it was basically sort of like a Michael Bay movie, but on crystal meth. You know what I'm saying? It's like
In
this.
what sense?
Speaking at
Yeah.
all times.
It's the same, like, yeah, it's just explosions. People like, oh my god, get out of the way! But like, but with like '90s like computer hacking graphics and like fucking Nick Cage making like, "Woo, woo," I don't know, like faces like that. You know what I'm saying?
He made so many good faces. There's so many like.
Oh yeah.
Okay, like the.
You're the
choir
best at it.
face.
Give the camera the faces
I
right
can't-
now.
I'm-
Come on.
You know I can't do those faces, Sean. There's only one man who
I've seen you
knows
make those
the
faces.
nuevo shamanic techniques to
Me.
make those faces,
No,
and
I'm
it's
kidding.
Nick.
No, it's not. I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't have
okay?
access to those kind of jutsus.
All right, Trevor, I got a question for you. If you can't answer that,
Yeah.
how about we talk about in a fight who's gonna win? Triple X, which last 2 episodes ago.
The Castor Triple X or
Fucking Xander
What's
versus his name's Xander versus
Vin Diesel.
Yeah, but
No,
is he just Xander? Did he have a different name?
No,
I almost
his
want to
na-
call
no,
him
his-
Xander
no,
Cage.
It is Xander Cage, actually.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Versus Castor Troy.
I'm not joking.
That's awesome.
Xander
That's so
Cage
funny.
versus. What do you think?
I thought
bro?
I was just making that up. In my
No,
head.
bro, who
Okay.
wins?
All right. It depends, dude. It depends if it's like.
It depends. Yeah, it's a good point.
I
If,
mean,
if they're going
it-
straight fist fight, what do we think?
Xander Cage. I mean, he's
Really?
he's beefcake, bro. Like he's gonna fucking beat that ass.
Yeah, Vin Diesel also has this kind of darkness about him. You know what I mean?
I
It's,
mean-
it's kind of like below the surface. It's not something that you can like see.
I mean, I love Castor Troy, but like Castor Troy, his whole thing is he's a trickster. You know, he's like he'll think that he'll make you think that you're safe, and then he'll fucking like.
All
then
right,
he'll strike.
what if they have it planned
hand to
out?
hand?
What if they have it planned out where like there's two troops and like they're like, I got a plan, and the other side's like, I got a plan, and then
Wait,
they
what,
meet
so
up.
who are the troops?
Xander Cage is like boys, and then like
Oh.
fucking Castor
His
Troy's
boys.
boys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And,
Troy's
and,
boys.
and then they meet up. They're like, all right, we're coming up at 3 a.m. at the hangar, and they come with a
Okay.
plan. Who wins?
I'd go Castor Troy.
Really?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Because he's a mastermind. He's a genius. He's a criminal mastermind. You know, Xander Cage, he's beefcake. You know, he's like, he's all muscle. He's a tank.
He is a criminal though, and he is a kind of a mastermind in that movie.
He doesn't have the same wit as a Castor Troy.
I think
That's
that
for
might
sure.
be true. To be
Yeah.
honest with you.
I mean, yeah, if it's a purely physical test, I'm going Xander. Yeah, he's ripped.
Well, also too, like in terms of in terms of Castor Troy, like if you see his little like packet that his boys open for him, it's got like two guns. It's got the bullets. It's got like a pack of gum, and it's got like 50 Adderalls. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. It has
It's got some benzos in there too.
Yeah.
It has it's two like really badly rolled like joints too, where like the two tips of the joint are both like rolled together.
Yeah.
And I just think that's so funny because it's like and he like takes the joint and like lights it up and it's like, yeah, he's a fucking bad guy.
So it's that sort of drug energy versus Xander Cage, who is just probably like chugging like a Monster Energy because he's sponsored by them. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like Xander Cage was probably straight edge at one point, but now he drinks beer.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's like.
He's straight edge. He like rolls up his pack like in his sleeve, in his like arm sleeve.
I feel like in his youth, dude, he was probably on hardcore bands.
All right, Nick, I got a question for you. So
Uh-oh.
later in the film, we see where it's already been established once Castor Troy is in Travolta's skin, he comes up and he's like playing like the dad and he's trying to like bang like the wife. But you see that he's also kind of protective a little bit of the daughter. Do you think Castor Troy is a feminist?
I think that there was some feminist undertones
Okay.
happening, but I don't think it was intentional. I think that Castor Troy was trying to. It almost felt like sexual in a weird way. You know what I mean? Like that initial thing, and that made me feel strange inside. Like that was not.
I think
a
that
good
was the goal of
feeling.
the movie.
Yes, but I'm just saying that if that's what you're asking, I would say my answer would be no. But he's a complex character.
He's a
you
complex
know?
character for sure.
We're talking about Cage right now, but we can't put Cage in a box. Let's not
put Cage in a cage, dude.
I'm just saying, he's one of the more complex icons of Hollywood. He's a goat to me. Like all of his performances and the way that he's like looked at as a meme.
Dude, Ghost Rider.
I mean, like the list goes on, man. Like it's just it never ends.
Let's reverse it back. Let's talk about the other kid from the other side. Travolta is on Castor Troy's side. He has the face, and then he sees Castor Troy's kid with the woman that he's been very disrespectful to the whole time, but is very into him. And
I love that kid.
He sees the kid, and like there's bullets flying, and like the mom's there with them, and like she just goes like, "Son, like." Put your headphones on, listen to music, and the kid's listening to "Somewhere Over the Rainbow."
Yeah. That's
What kid is listening to that under the direction of Castor Troy, bro? How is he not listening to Limp Bizkit? You know what I'm saying?
Castor Troy. That's one of the things about Castor Troy, dude. He's got taste like that. You would think.
So he likes Wizard of Oz, is what you're saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's just a man of high culture, I think. He likes the finer things in life, is what I'm saying. Like, you can't just, maybe you think that he's a Limp Bizkit guy, but that's what I'm saying. That's where he switches up on you.
Yeah, that's a you problem.
Okay.
If anything, I think Sean Archer, John Travolta's character, would be the Limp Bizkit guy in a sort of strange twist of fates.
Yeah. After like a long case, he comes home and his wife like gets in a fight with him, and he just like puts on his headphones and that's what plays.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Crazy. Very wild.
Because Castor Troy gets his he gets his aggression out for real, like so when he's trying to kick back and relax, he doesn't have an excess. He needs to burn off with some biscuit.
Yeah.
Do you remember at the end of the movie when everything was good and Castor Troy was defeated finally?
The daughter's not goth anymore.
Yeah. Well, no, it's actually before that.
Oh, okay.
And he still has the face of Castor Troy, and he goes to his wife and he's talking about like a moment that they would remember, and he's like,
yeah.
Do you remember that night when we got surf and turf and everything was beautiful? And it's like the decision to make the surf and turf reference come to fruition is so funny to me. It's just like that's how he let it off. We eat and surf and turf, and
I would love to believe that whole scene was improvised. I think he could. I believe it.
Yeah, just Cage just fucking belted that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just really just fucking dredging up some real emotional content, dude.
Could you imagine being on set when Cage is improving, just witnessing that and just trying to just hold the boom mic, just
Yeah.
you're just
I wouldn't be able to.
You're trying to hold it together, but you're this is serious art. But
I'll be overwhelmed.
Cage is just so deep in character, no, no.
You just know the nouveau shamanic is just in full force.
Yeah, dude,
Crazy.
he's fucking really unleashing that shit.
It's nuts,
Yeah.
man.
I love the boy that you were talking about before, not John Travolta, Sean Archer's boy, but the Nick Cage's Castor Troy's boy. What is his name? His name's Adam. I think the other guy's son's named
Adam.
what was it? Oh, Michael. Michael, no.
No, Michael. Michael, no.
But at the end of the movie, so at that point you were talking about, you find out that Castor Troy, he has this son that he's sort of estranged from because he's he's doing international terrorism and stuff, and he's kind of a bad guy. He doesn't have time for his son, but Archer, disguised as Castor Troy, meets this boy, and the lady tells him, she's like, it's your son. But then cut to the end of the movie, we see that the very last thing in the movie, they're like, oh, my family, we're back together. There's one more person I want you to meet. And it's that boy, and they've now adopted Castor Troy's son, which is so crazy because
What? I'm gonna be, dude. I was
touching his face like this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I was taking a piss. I didn't even see that, bro.
Dude, he replaced his boy.
Bro, he did this, bro.
He replaced his son at the end of the movie. Dude, he got a new son. He replaced Michael.
Oh my god.
And it's crazy because he killed this kid's actual dad to become his dad. It's like a King of the Hill type situation.
Oh shit, dude. Some Bobby Hill type shit, bro.
Yeah, dude.
All right, guys. So why don't we talk about, what was our takeaway from this movie? I feel like for me, it was good. I liked that it would, in terms of, a Cage film, it was good. If we're talking about standing up to the great films of all time, this isn't something that you're going to list.
No, I disagree.
This is a shamanic review.
But if it's something that you're looking to be entertained by and kind of see as a meme in its own way, the way that a lot of these Cage films have become, it's definitely one of the best movies that you can choose.
Yeah.
In that regard. So I would say it was great for me.
I'll add on to that, and I think that if you're looking for a full Cage sort of experience, and you want to see him go nuts, if you want to see him, if you want to see his expressions fly, if you want to see his gun spray bullets, if you want to see him,
We get it. No.
be.
I mean, this is Cage.
Fuck me, right?
This is Cage
Just keep
power.
listening.
Look, if
I
there's
listen to you,
If you
motherfucker.
want to see people diving out of the way, if you want to see
if you want to see
trucks driving down the street,
If you want to see people drinking water, Nick Cage.
okay.
How about you, Trevor? Let's lead it out since it's not my turn anymore.
No, I'm sorry.
I mean, if there's one way I could describe this movie, it's high octane.
So Baruch.
2 thumbs up, fun for the whole family.
Octane.
High octane summer thriller blockbuster.
It's a
80
roller
million.
coaster of a fucking film.
80 million, baby.
80 million what?
That's the budget.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
What was the
pretty good,
box
yeah.
office? Do we know?
It was like 230 something.
Oh wow.
All right.
Oh,
To lead
yeah.
this podcast out, there's something I want you to do, Trevor.
What?
I want you to look directly into the camera, and I want you to give your best sort of Castor Troy face that you can give. No, but serious. Regain yourself.
Or impression.
No. We weren't ready. Do it again.
Okay, no impression.
I don't even.
No impression, but look towards the camera.
What does he say when he throws the FBI lady off the plane? He's like, one of yours, Sean, and then he's like,
Castor Troy, baby, I'm a
I hated that. I look so stupid.
All right, thanks, guys. See you later.
on the bed, frozen water on the bolo necktie. Face off, make me feel like I'm somebody else. I'm too high to be by myself.